Hey there. So it's been a while since we've done a video. Things have been busy. Traveling all over the place. Work's crazy. So I guess there shouldn't be any complaints about that. That's the way it goes. So what's been going on other than work? Well, I've gone out and I've raced one time since maybe April. That was just last week, 2 weeks ago. Had all well intentions of actually doing a race day video. That did not work out very well. Let's see, went out, got everything loaded into the car, went to start the car, and the battery decided to tell me that it was not going to start the car. So basically that put me way behind on getting to the track. So I scrapped the video thing. I'd say this, I didn't record while I was there because I was running behind and I needed to get laps in because the cars hadn't been running in a while. If you've noticed, as the dogs go crazy in the background because apparently something's being delivered. Anyways, cars when they sit for a while and they haven't been run, just like anything else, first couple passes just aren't right. And that's what I ran into. First couple passes just weren't right. I knew which cars I was going to run, kind of, threw them on the track, just started running as quickly as I could. And just didn't have time to actually film any racing. Plus, I was like an hour late getting there because I had to run to town, visit my friends at Napa, and spend $180 on a new battery. Anyways, so right now I am doing some maintenance stuff. When I say maintenance stuff, I've said it in the past in other videos. One of the things that has kind of bothered me about myself, clean up after doing a soldering job and so forth, is the flux that I use is the acid flux. It's just harsh. And the pins in my number one block, my number one chassis block, obviously they're not stainless steel. Why do I say that? Because right here, that is what I'm pulling out of my block. Get into focus. Nothing about that rust and pitting and nastiness says that this is stainless steel. It was my first block. I really didn't know. It looked like a solid block. It is a solid block for, doing what I wanted to do, which was put a couple of cars together and learn. I didn't know any better. I figured, you know what, I'll build up these couple of pro stock cars to run at the local track. I'll do a couple of dragsters and just kind of go from there. So that's what I did. It served me well. So after an order to my friends at McMaster Car, I have a 3-foot rod, stainless steel. So I'm gonna cut this down, put it into the block, and fix it once and for all. Fix the jig, so to speak. And I mean, I know that these things are not stainless steel because, if you guys remember, I have magnets, big magnets in my table block, my tabletop, because that's what's holding it in place. And proof positive, this hex key was sitting on one of the magnets on the tabletop, and there's the pin out of the jig. So, and I also picked up another jig. So, and it's a jig I've wanted from the beginning. And honestly, at the time, I didn't have the money to spend on it. I wanted to get going, just like anybody else. We're excited. We want to get going. We want to get building. We want to get tinkering. So I bought the Lucky Bob dragster jig, and it's not going anywhere. I'm still going to use it. It's all marked for the different length dragsters that I build. Because like I've said in the past, if I put a hotter motor, if I put like a, not so much like a Hawk 7, like if I put a Phoenix motor on a dragster and I want to run no glue, I can't do it with my standard length dragster. I run Scrivener rail kits. We all pretty much build them, I mean, tip to center line of axle, like 10.5 inches. That's pretty much it. I play with 1/2 inch increments. Hotter the motor, add 1/2 inch. Usually 1/2 inch to 1 inch. I haven't gone over that. And my goal is to run a Phoenix motor, no glue. My track is probably trickier than a lot of other tracks. The surface is extremely smooth. It's a really high gloss paint. It's a beautiful track, bar none. I think it's, probably one of the best you're going to come across, as well as it's maintained. The way it's maintained, it's a nice track, and I'm really fortunate to run at it. So, shout out Mike, Strasburg Hobbies. Great facility, great family, great people to race with. So, anyways, my jig's not going anywhere. I prefer no glue racing. So, the jig that I really wanted from the beginning was this one. The WRP C series. It's got the section at the bottom for bending. I bought extra pins. So I have a huge set of pins, all the different pins, you name it. I've got extras up. So I can really set that up. I will create setup sheets, and I'll show you what that is. So basically what I will do is I will take this jig, I'll put it in AutoCAD, I'll lay out all of the holes, all of the pin placements. Then from there, I'll export the AutoCAD file as a JPEG or a PDF. More than likely, well, probably not. Probably I'll go into Publisher first. So I'll export from that into Microsoft Publisher. Microsoft Publisher, I can then do some text arrangements that are a little bit easier to do there. Jig, and then from there I will put it into Adobe. Once I get it in Adobe in a PDF, all of these little holes, I can put radio buttons. What that means is, if I find a setup that I really like, so two of my favorite door cars are WRP CO6 chassis. They're deadly consistent. I mean, within a couple thousandths each pass, if not tighter. They're just deadly consistent. I love them. Set them up for like a Phoenix Pro Stock class, heads-up class. I put Pro Slot motors in them, started bracket racing them, and now I really don't want to undo them and put the Phoenix motors back in, so I'm thinking about building a couple more CO6 chassis, Pro Stockers, Phoenix, heads-up cars, and just leave them at that, because these cars just work way too well. But what I can do is with those radio buttons in a PDF form, I can then name a chassis setup in the PDF and save it. So you go into the PDF and you hit the little radio buttons and it turns the spots red. So then I can just pull up on my computer, oh, okay, so for this chassis, I need to highlight, it's already got the spots highlighted on there for me. So I know, okay, this is exactly where I put my pins for this specific chassis. It's overkill, but it stops you from having to go, okay, how did I build this last one? You pull the chassis out, you measure it. You don't even have to do that. All of the information you need is right there on that one sheet of paper. Paper. What the heck? Okay, anyways, I know English. the length of the rod that I cut, the type of the rod that I cut, if it's a wheelie bar chassis, how long the wheelie bars are, what bars you used. Same way as if it's a no bar car, your bends, your length of tubing for your slip joints, the whole 9 yards. It's all right there on that one sheet. You say, okay, I want to build that car again. I'm going to build that exact same car again every single time because I've got a setup sheet for it. Use it RC racing, use it drag racing, my big car life. It's just exactly what it sounds like. It's a setup sheet, except in this case, it's for a jig. Chassis shops use them more or less. You know, they've got CAD drawings and they know, okay, we're going to build, like if you go to Tim McCamus' shop, I guarantee you they have a setup sheet for every car they build on their jig. Okay, someone wants, okay, I want a 632 68 Camaro with this body, double frame rail car, so on and so forth. They have a setup sheet for their fixture plate. I guarantee you they do, because that's the way Tim McCamus is. He's very precise. He doesn't fuck around. He wants it the same way every single time. So that's what I'm going to do there. I may show some of those. But so in the meantime, I'm going to finish up this jig, put the pins in, put the new pins in, and it'll go back to being just a dragster jig. That's it. I've got the C-Series, so I'm going to start building some more no-bar stuff. Comments on one of the videos, I've got a request for a start to finish. So I'm going to call up Steve at Scrivener Rails, because my local shop doesn't carry Scrivener stuff. There's some shops nearby. They're a few hours away. They've kind of changed their schedules, and it's not convenient for me to get down there to race anymore, and they really don't have any online sales. Now, if my local shop carried Scrivener stuff, I'd go to my local shop, and I'd get it. They don't carry it, so I'll hop out here on the Facebook, put an order out. So for the guys that have requested, I'm going to do a start to finish everything on a dragster. No stopping, Dremel, cut it apart, clean up the pieces. You're going to see what I use to clean it up, how I clean up the pieces. These I kind of polish a little bit. So you're going to see polishing compound I use, how I do it. Really, it's not that much. You just like 1500 grit, sandpaper 1600 grit, something crazy like that. 2000 grit. Actually, if you just like these plates, you hit them with like 2000 grit, it's almost mirror finish without doing anything to them. But anyways, whole 9 yards. We're going to put in the bushings. We're going to set up the bushing. We're going to show you everything, colors, start to finish, whole 9 yards. No cuts, no edits. Grinding noises, whole 9 yards in the background. Probably going to be, I don't know. We're going to do body mounting, the whole 9 yards. Maybe a long video. And like I said in the past, I'm going to try to keep these videos short, 30 minutes or less. That complete build, it's going to be a long one. We're going to do the magnet front mounts on the body. We're going to glue the magnet inside here, set it up, whole 9 yards. I'm going to do my own pinless mount, which is really straightforward and simple. We're just going to stack some styrene. We're going to glue it up. We're going to put the pin tubing in the blocks, glue it inside the body, be done with it. No pins, no screws, no nothing. Completely smooth. Whole 9 yards, start to finish. And then some stuff with the new WRP chassis. I had a 34 Chevy Street Roadster body. I don't know where it went. But I was going to build a Roadster. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, nah fam, I'm not going to do that. So that's going to get canned. I think what I will do is, how I've mentioned, I've wanted to build another Pro Stocker for actual Pro Stock racing, heads up. So I think the first car off of the new jig is going to be a new Pro Stock car. So I'm going to set up my setup sheets beforehand. And I think I'll show you how that works. That'll be fun. So give me a few days, week or so, and I'll, we'll probably pop onto that first because I'll have that car going before anything else. Because I've got the tubing for that car right here. 082, because that's what the rules call for. Yeah, we'll go from there. I've got tons of my standard welding rod pre-cut, ready to go to finish length on the dragsters. Could be fun. Yeah, like I said, got tubing for the new Pro Stalker. Gotta find a body though. Probably gonna do another GXP, just because I've got some S10s. Yeah, skip that. Do another door car GXP. It's gonna be like I said, bar car 082. So that's what we're gonna do. Probably pretty sure you don't want to watch me take apart my jig, my chassis jig, and cut new tubing, or not new tubing, but new pins to go in it on the innards. So we'll show you that on the next video, how that came out, finished up. Go from there. So until next time, thanks. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy. Don't be stupid.